Brooks doesn't mess with the Ghost line very often, and for the most part they haven't with this one. But to me it feels more grounded, it feels more natural to run in, and it also feels softer. I'm really liking this one. Alright, enough of that. The Ghost is Brooks's best-selling neutral daily trainer, and I think version 18 is going to continue that streak. It's the Brooks shoe that most people default to when they want something dependable, and it's now got a new upper, a much better tongue, and a refined ride overall. Brooks didn't touch the parts that already worked, just the bits that needed refinement. And a nicer surprise for me is that it feels softer underfoot and just more natural in how it runs. Supernatural, if you will. It's a Ghost after all. As always, let's kick off with those key specifications. They cost $150. I'll let you know by the end of this review if I think they're worth that price tag. They weigh 10.6 ounces or 301 grams. That's for a size US men's 9, my pair. That, by the way, is average weight for a daily trainer like this. They have a drop of 10 millimeters. That's 36 millimeters under the heel and 26 millimeters under the forefoot. The upper's using a 2-color engineered air mesh, a nice flat knit pillow tongue, and it's got an OrthoLite X60 sockliner or insert, which is removable. The midsole is using DNA Loft version 3 foam, which is a nitrogen-infused foam. Really love how balanced it is. It's the same one that was in the previous version. And the outsole is using RoadTack rubber compound. Haven't had any issues with this so far. And that rubber compound's durability is fantastic. It also has some reflective details at the heel area, so you will be seen in low light conditions. When it comes to sizing and fit, they're very much true to size. Go with your usual US sizing, and you should be very happy with that. Step-in comfort has been considerably improved for me, and I put that down to this new tongue design, slightly altered articulated heel counter, and the padding around the collars and that heel counter. It's super dreamy, feels like a cloud to slip your feet into, no complaints there at all. The toe box is a little bit tapered, so if you have wide toes, you might notice that, in which case you might want to go for one of the wider options. There's tons of options available for this shoe. There's a narrow, a standard, wide and extra wide, so plenty of options. So if you do have wider feet, make sure you go with a wide version. The midfoot and heel lockdown are both really good. If you have narrow heels, you might want to use Racer's Loop heel lock method. Not sure what that is? Follow that link up there. That's a little demonstration I put together, which shows you how to do that lacing method. Super easy, but it will lock your heel down in any shoe, as long as you've got that extra eyelet up top. If you're enjoying this review so far, which I really hope you are, please give the video a like. Super easy to do, but it means a lot to me and the channel, and I'll love you forever. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you tap that subscribe button and then slap that bell icon. That will let you know as soon as new videos drop. You won't want to miss what's coming up. And if you've had any experience running in the Ghost 18, I want to hear it. Put the good and the bad, all of it in the comments. That's really going to help me understand how you've been using them, but also anyone who's on this video because they want to know if it's worth buying or not, it's going to help them decide whether it's going to be the right daily trainer for them or not. We all really appreciate it. Thanks for your input. You've made it to my performance review. Congratulations for sticking around, I really appreciate you. I'm going to start by talking about the ride and the midsole, because that is connected, and that's really the most important thing with any running shoe. That ride has to translate to what you want from a shoe and what you want to get out of it. This one's an interesting one for me, because historically the Ghost has always felt like the drop has been a little bit too high for me. And I understand a lot of people do like a high drop for various reasons. But this one feels lower somehow. It is a 10mm drop on paper, but it feels more like an 8mm. And I put that down to the softer geometry of this midsole. It just plants you better in the shoe, it puts your heel a little bit lower, and when on the run you get a more natural stance and stride because of it. The whole ride and transitions feel so much more cohesive from heel landing to toe takeoff. Everything is just that much smoother and more enjoyable on the run. I feel like I'm getting a more efficient experience and one where the shoe just gets out my way now. I'm not really thinking about anything that's wrong with it because this is such a good addition to the Ghost line that there isn't really much to not like about it, which doesn't really happen to me very often. Of course, it's not perfect, and I will share some things that do need improvement, but overall, the ride on this thing is really great for any beginner runner or intermediate runner who needs a daily trainer just to bag recovery miles, daily training runs, but also longer efforts. If you are training for a marathon or any race, to be honest, having a daily trainer that doesn't have a huge stack height, but just has a really nice, well-balanced midsole, is going to be the shoe that really helps you get to that start line feeling good and getting all those training miles in. Now, it's worth understanding the ride character of the Ghost. There's no rocker geometry here, so it's not really a poppy, propulsive ride. It's not one of those shoes where you're going to be picking up the pace in. It's not a tempo running shoe. This is for bagging those easy cruiser miles and just getting weekly mileage in. It's also very good for using as a lifestyle shoe. If you stand around all day, depending on what you do for work, you might be on your feet all day. Something like this is going to be really good for you too. But what this does bring to your run is a nice controlled stance. It feels more planted and controllable. And that's really what you want from a daily trainer. The upgrades in the upper are meaningful to me. This tongue is so much better than the previous version. I always said it, that the tongue on the previous few versions was very narrow. So narrow in terms of this section here, and it didn't really wrap around the front of your foot, giving you a nice, secure and comfortable ride. This one does, and you've got a little bit of stretch here at the front. It's just super dreamy. There's tons of padding in the tongue as well. Absolutely no lace bite, and it locks your foot into the shoe much better than the previous version. So if you did have to use Racer's Loop before, I don't think you're going to need it anymore. The upper mesh is also more breathable. I've been testing this in some crazy Florida heat, and I don't feel like my feet are overheating. Do note, this is a neutral daily trainer. If you're looking for a shoe with a little bit more support and stability features, maybe because you overpronate and you just need that support, well, I would recommend looking at the Adrenaline GTS instead. If that sounds like you, just follow that link up there. That will take you to my latest Adrenaline GTS review. If you're wondering how the Ghost 18 stacks up against other neutral daily trainers right now, well, follow that link up there. That will take you to my best daily trainers roundup, where you'll be able to find the best daily trainer for you. Spoiler alert, this one's done really well. It's time to cast my verdict. Is the Brooks Ghost 18 worth $150? Yes, it is. In the past, I would probably say, well, if you like a high drop, sure. But this one, it just feels totally different to me. I think it's going to be even more accessible to more people. This is already one of the most popular daily trainers out there right now. Not just for Brooks, but across the board. This is one of the most popular running shoes. And version 18, I think, is going to elevate this line so much just because it feels more planted. The drop feels a little bit lower because it feels softer under the heel, which puts your foot in a more natural stance when you're running. I really like how this one feels, and I actually like how it looks too. What do you reckon? So if you are looking for a daily trainer that can handle nice, easy running, so that's recovery miles, daily jogs, and longer distance efforts as well, and maybe you want to use it as a lifestyle shoe for working all day or going to Disney, whatever your tipple may be, then I think the Ghost 18 is going to be a very versatile shoe, making it even better value for money. Well, I really hope this review helped you decide whether or not this is going to be for you. If I missed something, it happens. I am human after all. Just let me know that question that you've been dying to ask. Put it in the comments. I reply to everyone, so your time will not be wasted. I really appreciate you joining me on this review, and I can't wait to see you on the next one because you subscribed, didn't you? If you didn't, it's your second chance. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.